Hello maths fans! Today we're going to be looking at changing the subject of a formula and we're going to start bringing in squares and square roots for these couple of examples. So I'm just going to go through 3 examples, or 4 examples I think. So here we go. Here's the first one. No squares or square roots in this one. Just want to recap how to do it. So we want to make m the subject here. So what happened to m was it got multiplied by x and then added c. One way of looking at it is to get rid of the thing furthest away from the subject. Well, the c is furthest away. It's not a perfect explanation of how to choose what to do, but it's not a bad way to start. So I'm going to take c from both sides, and I get y minus c equals mx. Next thing I need to do to get the m on its own, well, it's m multiplied by x. Do the inverse of multiply by x, divide by x. Divide by x. And so we get y minus c all divided by x equals m. And that is making m the subject because m is now on its own on one side of the equation or the formula. Right, let's bring in those squares we were talking about. To make m the subject here, at the moment m is multiplied by itself. M is squared. The inverse of square is square root, this symbol here. And so I say square root of y is equal to m. And now m is the subject. Simple, that one. Square is the inverse of square root. Let's have a look at one with a couple of steps in it now. Y equals 5b squared. Well, here, the b was squared. We're going to make b the subject. The b was squared and then multiplied by 5. So my first step here has to be to divide by 5 first. Divide by 5 first. If you think of BODMAS, we always do any powers first and then any multiplication after that. So in effect, b was squared and then multiplied by 5. When we're changing the subject, we're kind of reverse BODMASing. So we do things in the other order. So if there's any multiplication, we've got to get rid of that multiplication before we get rid of the power, the square. So when we divide by 5, I get y all over 5 equals b squared. And then my last step is to get rid of the square with a square root. Square root both sides. And I get, this is important, a big square root like that, because it's all of that squared. We must put it all around the whole y over 5. That is different from this. They will give us different values. So this is no good. And equals b. b is now the subject. So just be careful with those square roots. Make sure you square root everything with that last step in an example like that. All right, one more. We're going to now do from a square root, we're going to undo it. Now this one, we've kind of got 5b all square rooted. So in effect, b was multiplied by 5 and then square rooted. We times by 5 and then square rooted. So I've got to go back the other way, do the inverse. And you can kind of imagine there's brackets there. And that's why it's the reverse BODMAS. So get rid of this square root. I'm going to square both sides. I'm not sure how you draw a little square symbol. Let's put x squared. Why not? Y squared equals 5b. Final step, get b on its own, is to divide by 5. Divide by 5. And we get y squared divided by 5 equals b. b is on one side, it's now the subject. Alright, there's a few examples for you. Hope that was useful. Bye-bye.